in the Sakya lecture, first chapter, which is on the examination of the wise, it also says distinct good and bad are clear to all, but wise distinguish them when mixed. Anyone can take milk from the cow, but swans separate milk from water. So in Tibetan it says, Yenden Gyungi Sikansal, Deba Jeshe Kebayin, Chule Oma Ngbeche, Pale Oma Kunkilong. So those learned persons who keep their good behavior, good attitude, and who are learned, who knows many different topics, and who are not arrogant, who are not proud. Such is the quality of the wise and learned person. And then the other one is those who tell lies, those who deceive person, those who are lazy, those who are distracted, those who are not paying attention, etc. is the fault, is the kind of bad qualities. So it is quite obvious, person with all these qualities and person with all these bad qualities, it is quite easy, or it is clear to us which one is right and which one is wrong, or which one has the good quality and which one has bad qualities. But in reality, in our life, we see people who has good and bad qualities mixed. So at that time, it is important to differentiate what is their good qualities and what is their bad qualities. Because every ordinary human being has good and bad qualities. Ordinary human beings, when we see good qualities in them, then it doesn't mean they only have good qualities or they only do good things and they never do bad things. And sometimes we see bad person, but then this doesn't mean that this bad person will only do bad things and will never do any good things. So, for example, in our life, sometimes we like this person or we support this person, and when we support this person or when we like this person, then we try to defend this person all the time. Even this person does something bad, still we don't see as a bad, we always see as a good thing, and we always support and defend their behavior or their attitude. And if we don't like a person, or if someone hated this person, then even though this person does something good, still we say it's bad because this person has bad intention, must have bad intention to do this and this good things. So we always try to criticize, try to say something bad about this person. But in reality, good person also has some good and bad qualities, and bad person not only has bad qualities but also has some good qualities. So it is important to differentiate, to distinguish between good and bad qualities. For example, anyone can take milk from the cow, but when milk and water are mixed, then we as a human being, we can't differentiate between milk and water if they are mixed together. But the swans, they can differentiate, or they can separate the milk from the cow. So similarly, we should try our best to know or to differentiate good and bad qualities when they are in one person. Generally speaking, we as an ordinary human being, every one of us has good and bad qualities. Some has more good qualities and some has more bad qualities, but all has good and bad qualities. So we need to differentiate between good and bad. Otherwise, it can mislead us and it can lead us to the wrong direction, or it can lead us to the wrong path or the path to the full. So therefore, as a human being, if someone is doing good, we always need to rejoice. Even they are a bad person in general, but if they do something good, because of their good deeds, we need to appreciate, we need to admire their good deeds. And we should not criticize. And if the good person, sometimes if they do something bad, and at that time we should not admire, or we should not support, or we should not defend. We should know this is a bad deed that this person has done. So we should try to separate. So every person has good and bad qualities. So even in one person, we need to separate what is their good deeds and what is their bad deeds. And we should not mix these two together. As swan can separate between the milk and water, similarly we should try to separate the good and bad deeds. So milk is like a good deed and water is like a bad deed in this content. So we should try to differentiate, and through this way then we should follow that person, or we should carry on our lifestyle through this way. So this is the advice in this teaching.